Alright, what's going on everyone? Sniper here, back with another unboxing. This unboxing is for Monster Hunter World Collector's Edition for the PS4. Um, I guess changed my setup now, so now I can use both my hands freely, instead of having one hand with using the camcorder and one hand kind of mucking about, going between all the Collector's Edition. So, let's get started let's get started with unboxing this Collector's Edition, shall we? So, on the other side here, we have the Monster Hunter World Collector's Edition box. This is the top cover. This is the front of the box, and you have this little dust cover, but it's cut in half and half with the box itself, so it kind of continues the art on the other side, or it continues the art without kind of damaging it or kind of ruining it in any way. You have one side of the box, and you have A New World Awaits. We'll just get that text there. So, once a decade of elder dragons cross the sea, heading for a distant unexplored continent, draw to this migration, embark on an epic journey to unravel the mystery and dangers that lie beneath. And then obviously you have the French side here. So you have a couple of artwork or in-game pictures with the big boss itself. On the back, you have another one of those type of continuing art with the dust cover and not breaking any transition of it itself. Then on the back, you have 1 player, 2 to 4 network players, 16 gig minimum, online play optional, DualShock 4, and PS4 Pro enhanced. And on the last but not least side, you have Monster Hunter World, and it shows you everything that's inside itself. Come on, focus. Focus. There we go. So you have the product code guide, you have the statue, digital soundtrack, art book, collector's box, and the game itself. So let's take off this dust cover here and take off top cover of the box. And we have first item to appear is the Monster Hunter World game for the PS4. Obviously, it's PlayStation exclusive. This is more or less just like a regular case, regular sleeve on the box. So it's just any brick and mortar store has more or less this view of the game. Next items here, and I'm not going to flip these over because I know what they are. It's the code for the deluxe edition, and it's the code for the digital soundtrack, the special soundtrack or digital soundtrack. So obviously I'm not going to flip these over because I want to use these codes after this video. All right, so put those aside, take this out, and the next item we get is the Monster Hunter World art book monster design. So you have this nice little emboss on the book itself, kind of show with like a shadow effect of the monsters. I forgot what it's called. And then on the back you have more of the monsters, and you have the Monster Hunter symbol, and obviously the tail of this monster itself. So flipping this book open. Yeah, let's go to a random page. So obviously it shows the artwork of the monster, obviously in Japanese scripture, because this is a Capcom game and Capcom is Japanese. And on the other side you have the equipment concepts for all your different arsenal items, all your gun, your axes, your swords, your shields, your bows. Focus, there we go. And your armor for your characters themselves. And obviously, all the armor is different for each type of boss enemy or minion you kill. You get different types of armor from their bones, blood, and skin. So you have, right here, you have the bird, wyvern, puke, or puki. A little adorable dragon type wyvern creature, butterfly thing. No, not butterfly. But it is probably deadly as heck and will eat your face off. So obviously you have the concept work of the enemy itself, and then you have the equipment concepts for obviously the swords, shields, and axes that you can get from the cartilage of the enemy. So this is more or less a book going through all the bosses for that's in the game, and each of their concept artwork or concept equipment or equipment concepts that you can get from their body itself. So that's pretty sweet right there. Move that to the side over here. And now the last but not least item, or the main ticket item in the collector's edition, move this to the side, is the Monster Hunter World Nergigante figure. So obviously it's in its own little box. Obviously you have code here, or sorry, caution code, like do not eat, do not taste test, whatnot type of thing. Keep away from children or they'll break your nice expensive figure. So take this out. It's taped. It's taped. Alright, I will cut right here and I'll be right back because I forgot to bring a knife and it's taped. Alright, so I got the tape out. There was a lot of tape kind of holding this thing together. There's two pieces on more or less, or there's two pieces of tape on each side, so they really want to secure this plastic case in this figure so it didn't pop out and your figure gets mobile and gets destroyed in the process of shipping. So take this cover off very gently, put that down, move this cover over there, just toss it to the side, and give me a second here. Unwrap this very so gently and carefully without damaging or breaking anything. Okay, it wasn't even in a bag, it was just wrapped in plastic. Anyways, so we got here the Nergigante figure, Monster Hunter. I believe I remember this this monster, where when you do battle with it, the longer it takes for you to battle it, the harder its skin gets and becomes more or less armor, and it becomes a prolonged fight if you don't kill it quick enough. So the figure itself is pretty sweet. It is kind of on the small end. I was hoping it would be a bit bigger, especially from the images that were shown on it. But the amount of detail on it itself, if you can focus, is pretty sweet. Like, even has a nice glossy paint job on it. And it does go into like the full detail of the transition of the paint itself from its belly to its back. And it kind of shows like the tips of its pointer things, and on the bottom of its wings itself has this little bone structure on it. And obviously it's in its, I guess it would be a hideout or a part of the area that has giant rock crystals, or a giant rock crystal formation in its path, and it has a little tail going out here with this little spike at the end of it, and it has little feet kind of resting on over there. Yeah, little giant big horns and its evil face. Come on, focus. 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 Come on. Come on. Yeah, whatever. That's fine. So, it's a pretty sweet figure. Even though it's on the small end, it is pretty sweet. Like the amount of detail that went into it is like outstanding. Like, even like has like it's a hollowness for the wings, so it does look like a real monster in the game. It's not all cheaply made. It's like, it's really well done for sure. It's just a Capcom stamp. Yeah, Capcom Co. Limited 2018, all rights reserved. So they got to stamp what they make, I guess. All right, so all in all, that is the Monster Hunter World Collector's Edition, exclusively for the PS4. So as a wrap up, you get the Collector's Edition box that houses the Monster Hunter World art book for the monster designs. You have the Monster Hunter World game for the PS4, along with the Deluxe Edition code and the Monster Hunter World digital soundtrack. And you have the Nergigante, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, in all honesty, from when I first said it to when I'm finished saying it. The Nergigante figurine, that's very highly detailed in itself. So, I guess price-wise, it's kind of worth it. Obviously, I don't think you can get it anymore because it's like supremely sold out. It got sold out like instantaneously when it first got released for pre-order. So obviously trying to find one of these, even if you can, is hard to come by. But I do find it worth it. This collector's edition for sure. It's not one of the greatest, and it's not one of the worst. I would say it's kind of up there in the greatness scale, just because of the amount of detail on the figurine and kind of what you get with it. It's all nice, tight packed. Obviously, actually, not what you get with it. You could get a bit more, like maybe a bit thicker art book for the monster designs, like just a bit more work in it because it's kind of on the thin side. You could delve out some more art, not just for the monster design, but maybe for the landscape, the areas that you go to, like their transition, all the type of characters, and kind of just focusly dwell on everything in the game instead of just focusing on the monster design along with the armor that you can get for it. So I'd like to thank you guys for watching. Please like, favorite, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.